Coming up on today's episode of Full Sail Live, we will discuss Antonio Brown's continued fall from stardom and what led to him being released from a second team. Then we will take a look at Zion Williamson's much anticipated NBA debut and how the number one overall pick looked against NBA competition. And later, we will talk about New England Patriots' newest scandal and what trouble owner Robert Kraft has found himself in this time. Hello everyone. My name is Tim Hedgebeth, and welcome to Full Sail Live. Back in 2017, Antonio Brown hopped on Facebook and streamed the Steelers' locker room celebration after a win. This rubbed the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger the wrong way. Things deteriorated quickly for them, and it led to him eventually being traded to the Raiders. Now, after trading a 3rd and 5th round pick for him, the Raiders have decided to move on as well. With Jon Gruden in his second season as head coach and Mike Mayock in his first as general manager, the Raiders had hoped they were improving things rapidly when they landed Brown. But one issue arose with this plan. Antonio didn't like his new helmet. The NFL had changed their helmet policies, and Brown's old helmet no longer fit the bill. This caused outrage and led to him fighting with coaches and Mike Mayock himself. Following his argument with Mayock, the Raiders suspended Brown, then unsuspended him following what Jon Gruden called, quote, an emotional apology. Then following his unsuspension, Antonio Brown asked for his own release, and the Raiders obliged. Brown is supremely talented and a top wide receiver possibly ever, but will another team be willing to take a chance? Only time will tell. Zion Williamson has finally arrived. We have all watched his highlight reel dunks since he was 14, but tonight we saw him suit up for his first NBA action. Although the Spurs got the better of the Pelicans, beating them 121-117, Zion played admirably. Zion shot the lights out, hitting 8 of his 11 attempts, including 4 for 4 on three-pointers. He finished the night with 22 points, most ever by a Pelicans rookie in their debut, and 7 rebounds in 18 minutes of game. After the huge mistake at the end of the NFC Championship game between the Rams and the Saints, which inevitably led to the Rams making the Super Bowl, the league knew they'd have to make some rule changes this offseason. The owners passed a new rule allowing the replay of defensive and offensive pass interference calls. The vote passed 31-1 for owners and 8-0 among the competition committee. While it's far too late for Saints fans to truly be happy about this, Roger Goodell said this was about, quote, getting it right. But this new rule wasn't necessarily about getting it right, so much as it was about the league feeling pressured by coaches. The rule was written up mere hours before it was voted on and eventually approved. Making this change allows for coaches to challenge penalties that were not called and in some cases trying to do the refs' jobs for them. It raises a lot of concerns over coaches being too trigger happy on throwing the challenge flag and what scenarios it's appropriate for them to challenge. This may end up being a rule that's revisited and revised in the near future. Today's early game in the MLB featured two teams who were squarely in the middle of the pack. More had been expected from the Dodgers coming into the season, but so far they've had trouble finding RBIs. Those struggles continue today against Ty Blach and the Giants. As I mentioned, we have Ty Blach starting for the Giants and Kenta Maeda on the mound for the Dodgers. The Giants would get out to a hot start with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the first with 2 outs down, and then the Dodgers would continue to fail to close out innings in the 4th with Brandon Belt hitting an RBI double with 2 outs already on the board. This would put the Giants up 4-0 with just about 4 innings left after this. The Dodgers tried to make this one interesting late as they would score 2 runs over the last 4 innings, but the Giants' defense proved to be too much and held on for the win, and the Giants got the W for Blach 4-2 in this game. Coming up next on Full Sail Live, find out what the newest scandal in New England is, what it has to do with Robert Kraft, and what the repercussions may end up being for the Patriots owner.